Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. It's your boy Luis Portelles, and for today's video we have a brand new episode of Extraordinary Talks. Today's video is extremely special to me because I will be interviewing one of the candidates of the Miss Philippines Earth pageant. Her name is Krizia Hamsirani and she is representing Dumaguete City. During our conversation, we were able to touch a lot of subjects such as her journey, her advocacy, being in a virtual pageant, the pros, the cons, the challenges, and a lot of things. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, don't forget to leave a like so that it gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, let me know in the comment section what did you enjoy the most about this episode and what do you want to see next. All of Krizia's links will be in the description box for you to go and show her some love, some support. You know that the pageant is coming and the fan support is extremely important for the candidates. So without further ado, my friends, let's get into today's interview. I really hope that you enjoy it. Be strong. All right, everyone. So just like I promised, here you have her, the beautiful Krizia Hamsirani. Welcome to Extraordinary Talks. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm really good. Thank you so much, Luis, for having me. And to everyone who's watching, hello, guys.
Super glad to have you here because this is going to be the first interview that I'm going to be doing for the series of Miss Philippines Art Series. So we're more than glad to have you here. We have a lot to talk about. Right. So right before we start like the interview, I just wanted to ask you, how are you doing? How is it going now that the pageant is almost coming to an end?
Well, honestly, it's bittersweet because, of course, we're really enjoying it since this is my first national pageant. And at the same time, it's my first virtual pageant. So everything is new to me, even if I've joined pageants before. And now that it's coming to an end, of course, it's bittersweet because, of course, it's kind of like tiring to always have shoots from here and there. But of course, because of the people that I've been with, this was just one for the books and something that I'm really gonna take everything and cherish.
As I was preparing for the interview and also looking for candidates and stuff like that, I was looking at the videos that they've been putting out. And what I can
Mhm.
say is that I see that there's a lot of effort when it comes to the production to make everything look cohesive. I'm guessing that most of things are being done remotely, like from your side of things, and then they put it all together to post it.
Yes, we shoot it, and though usually the video is just a 30-second video, but we like shot it like for almost whole day or like from 7 a.m. until nighttime just for a 30-second video.
Yeah, but I mean, the effort really shows because I was looking at your video and like you have like air shots and you have like so many like cool things that at the end of the day, even if you condense it down to like 30 seconds, it's still a very consistent video. So props to
Yeah.
you and to the organization as well. Really nice. So you said that this is your first national pageant?
Yes.
And how do you feel like is it a little more stressing? Is it a little more difficult when it comes to like the pressure or are you handling it well?
Well, honestly, at first, I was very new to it, even if I've been joining pageants before locally,
Mhm.
because now that I'm bringing not just myself, but I'm bringing the city and the whole province and everyone who's rooting for me. Yes, there is really pressure, and we're 66 candidates. So, I mean, like, but just being able to vie for the title and just be part of this amazing organization is just really something that I've been praying for. And I just feel so blessed because I've been really praying for this. I have been a fan of beauty pageants here in the Philippines, and I never even thought that I'd be here. So I'm just really grateful.
Absolutely. And you know what's really cool with Miss Philippines Earth is that it gives you this platform where you get not only to show like your beauty, but also to talk about a lot of important issues for the country
Yeah.
and also
Mhm.
for the world, right? Exactly. For you, can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about your advocacy? So what is it that you're standing for, that you're defending during the pageant?
Yes, I'm very excited to share too. My advocacy is sustainable agricultural practices for food security. Because even if I transferred to an urbanized area, I grew up in a rural area. And right now, unfortunately, it's really climate change is here. It's not prevention anymore. It's more on helping to lessen the negativities that's been happening due to climate change. And
Mhm.
here in the Philippines, I can really see that the threat to food security has becoming more rampant. And I can differentiate the food supply and food access when it comes to food security in
Mm.
the urban area and rural area. And I really wanted to bring that on a national level because though there's organizations taking care of it, I wanted it that people will be able to realize how important to be sustainable when it comes to.
I feel like you just summarized like the issue in a few seconds. And that's something that I have to commend you for because normally these type of things, right, when you're talking about environmental issues and climate change and sustainability are things that are very complex and it's not easy to explain it to people to make them understand. So I feel like you're doing an amazing job. And to continue on that same sense, I wanted to ask you, especially now in times of pandemic, with everything that's
Mhm.
going on, the economy being so affected, not only in the Philippines, right? Because I live in Canada actually. So
Oh, okay.
even here in Canada, it's like being crazy when it comes to the economy and how things have been affected. How important do you think that sustainability is now more than ever?
For me, honestly, it's very important. Actually, with the pandemic, a lot of realizations happen. Now, I believe not just to myself, but to a
Mhm.
lot of people. Because during the pandemic, I don't know, did you have like lockdowns in your place as well?
All the time. I
But
mean, like here, the lockdown was like so strict. We were
right.
able to like go out like last month. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so during the pandemic, really, a lot of things and plans were put on hold and some were even canceled. And
Yeah.
for me, sustainability is very important, not just to the environment, but almost to everything. It's
Yeah.
very important to be secure.
Mhm.
Being in a state that you're secure, you really gonna you really don't know what's gonna happen or what pandemic will hit us. So it's very important to be secure when it comes to food. Financial is also very important. But
Extremely.
at the end of the day, also, I'm very happy because, due to the pandemic with minimal movements, there's no travel. So somehow our earth was also able to restore its true beauty. It's kind of like God somehow though it's sad that this
Yeah.
happened, but it kind of like has given the earth a chance to breathe as well.
That is true. That is true. And it's also, I believe it's a learning experience for a lot of
Yes.
us, to not take things for granted. And we really need to take care of the environment because if I mean like if the environment turns against us, then it's a beautiful message. And at the end of the day, there's also like a message of hope in there, even though we went through this horrible situation, we still can overcome it and maybe like adapt better practices going forward, but definitely move on together. So I wanted to ask you once again, this is a very complex issue and you're able to explain it so well. How would you feel is the most appropriate way to approach someone who maybe doesn't know about these things, who maybe educate the population about how to adapt better practices when it comes to sustainability?
For me, really, I want to erase environmental apathy.
Mhm.
That idea that if I will do it, will it make a change? Or we know honestly that it's here. Climate change is here. It's just that we're not really doing anything about it. And I
Yeah.
really wanted people to really realize that this is the only earth that we have. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, it's crying for help and it's counting on us. Everything that we need, the air we breathe, water we drink, the shelter that we have, it depends on Mother Earth. And imagine if Mother Earth will give up and this will vanish. Where will we go? I really wanted people to really realize that. And I believe, sometimes people do things, I believe for me, people do things for three things.
Yeah.
First, they do things because they feel like they want to be rewarded, or they're doing things because of the gifts or prizes. Second, they don't want to be penalized. And third, conscience. So I really wanted to hit the third one. I want to really inform the people and really hit their hearts because when you do things by heart, it's really different than doing things because of prize or being afraid of getting penalized. So yeah, it's really hard, but I really wanted to change that problem. I want to address environmental apathy.
Yeah. Very often when you're explaining something that people don't understand, you have to
Yeah.
find a reference, something that they can relate to in order to, like introduce them to the subject. And
Mhm.
I mean, everything that you explained, like we are all concerned by Mother Earth. Like if something goes wrong, if we are not able to, when it comes to agriculture, for example, if not able to produce enough food for everyone, they're going to feel the impacts of it, right? So I feel like you definitely have the right approach, and I really hope that people are listening to what you have to say because it's extremely important.
I really hope to.
So Krizia, obviously virtually, right? But being surrounded by such a strong group of girls during the Miss Philippines Earth pageant, what is something that you have learned from other candidates around you?
Well, honestly, aside from being able to see the beautiful places of each girl's cities, because during our competition in every segment, we were actually somehow asked by the organization to at least, show to the world how beautiful your places are. And I really learned a lot of beautiful places through these girls. And even if this is just a virtual one, we actually had a lot of connections because we talk to each other through Messenger, Instagram. A while ago, we had a live Instagram, just a casual one, just
Yeah.
getting to know each other. And I really learned that they're also they have their own struggles as well. But
Mhm.
one thing is for sure, we have this one common goal, and that is to work for the environment. And that is something that I'm really grateful for this organization because, honestly, I really chose Miss Earth because I don't see it just merely a pageant. Its cause is very specific.
Mhm.
And this is a platform wherein a lot of girls from different cities and municipalities come together and they have their advocacies that they've been fighting for as well. And
Mhm.
I've really learned a lot from them. And every day I really said to myself now, wow, I still have a lot to learn. So I'm really grateful.
When I was looking at the videos of the candidates and their advocacies, their cities,
Mhm.
everything was just like, at first it was mind blowing because if I'm being fully transparent, I'm kind of like a newbie when it comes to the beauty pageant world. I got introduced to it by my audience, and then it became kind of like a passion for me. Like I was like, wow. But this is my first
Yeah.
year covering the Miss Philippines Earth pageant, and
Oh.
yeah, I was not expecting like so much substance and the girls being like talking about issues that are so complex, right? It's not just
Yeah.
about talking about global warming or something that a
Mhm.
lot of people have heard of, but it's very,
Yeah.
very specific. And I feel like the core of it, just like you were saying, is not just to have like a beauty pageant, but also it's kind of like almost at the same level as, let's say, fighting for like environmental issues and
Mhm.
giving visibility to the girls as well. It almost feels like the pageant is a way to bring like visibility and awareness and give that
Yes.
platform to the candidate. The Philippines is the country, like if you want to have a pageant, like there are 1,000
Yeah.
pageants. What made you choose
Yeah.
Mid Philippines Earth to begin with? What put it on your radar?
A lot of people asked me that actually. They said, why Miss Philippines since there's also Miss World, Miss Universe Philippines, Binibining Pilipinas.
Yeah.
But for me, really, it's not just a stepping stone, but as I've said, the cost for this crown is very specific. When I
Mhm.
was younger, honestly, I joined pageants more on because of the title or the name.
Yeah.
But now I really join pageants because of the reasons behind the crown.
Mm.
And during this pandemic, it's kind of like one of the not worst, but dark days that I've been through. I know I'm not alone in this, but I really was in a dark place before, especially last year. I just lost my grandmother, and I really realized like I cannot take things for granted anymore, and it's not like it's gonna be here forever. So I
Mm.
really wanted to do something that people will remember me for, to leave a legacy, to really know my mission here on Earth. And I really believe that Miss Earth will really help me that. And I really wanted to help the environment as well. That's why I really chose Miss Philippines Earth, not because for the title, but because of the reasons behind the crown.
It's very clear if you join a pattern like Miss Philippines Earth, the vision is like you know what is expected from you. So what do you think will be some of the biggest differences between, for example, Miss Philippines Earth and other beauty pageants in the country, other than the obvious fact of the cost, right? When it comes to maybe the activities or the presentations that are given to the audience, what would you say will be some of the key differences?
as of now, because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be on how we do things.
Mhm.
Because I believe as of this moment, Miss Philippines Earth is the only national pageant that's gonna be virtual. The rest are actually live. Just like this coming July 25, it's gonna be the Miss World Philippines
Yeah.
and it's gonna be live. So I think it's more of that because when it comes to the causes, I believe that each pageant here in the Philippines is not just for showing off the beauty, the talent, or the body of the girls.
Yeah.
It's more on really, like, giving them a chance to voice out what they have to say, to share their minds and their hearts. So it's really somehow similar. It's just that now it's the ways of doing the pageants.
Mhm. Even if I was looking at some of the activities, like the judges are always people who work in the fields that you're talking about. It's always people who have, that are qualified for it. So I think that it comes with a certain credibility when it comes
Mhm.
to the activities, the pageants, and the way that even the girls are judged. So props to the organization for that. It's really, really cool to see that because I mean, on my journey of, let's say, like beauty pageants, covering beauty pageants, I've been able to look at, for example, Miss Universe Philippines. I just finished recently a short series of Bini Bini Pilipinas girls as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
looking into this pageant, honestly, it's extremely refreshing because it's unlike a lot of other organizations, right? It's very specific and
Yeah.
it feels true, it feels authentic. Was there a specific person who influenced you to go into the pageant, or it was something just that you felt the Mother Earth calling you to join it?
Honestly, before when I was not crowned as Miss Dumaguete,
Mhm.
I've always wanted to do things like no matter how small it is, I always really wanted to help. It's just that I don't have the resources to do it as much as how big I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And just like this summer, we had like an Earth Hour, and I was one of the organizers for a particular collective group in our locality. And honestly, because of the people that I was with, I was really influenced to really do something because those people are actually environmentalists and they're very passionate
Mhm.
about the earth. And I was even so like amazed because one time a friend of mine was eating a chips,
Yeah.
junk foods, and it's in a plastic. And then like that particular person just really ran to that person and said, "No, no, 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 no! Please don't eat that! Don't eat that!" And at first, if you if it's your first time seeing that, you're gonna say like, "Oh, this guy is weird." But when you get to know them and you get to know the reasons behind everything,
Mhm.
you will really appreciate them. And I believe that now I'm really one of those.
I believe it's something that comes with education and, like informing yourself. Just like you were saying, sometimes something as normal as, let's say, like eating chips, when you think of the consequences behind it and the impact that the plastic waste is going to have in the environment, is definitely going to have like, you're going to have like a more understanding and maybe double think of your actions
Mhm.
before you proceed. So I definitely see where that's coming from. If you get the title of the Miss Philippines Earth, how would you use your platform to inform other people, to maybe reach to the population and make sure that the message of the organization, but also your advocacy gets to them?
Yeah, if ever I'll be crowned, it's gonna be a blessing that I don't want to go to waste. And as I've said before, I really wanted to start to address environmental apathy because honestly, if you're just gonna talk about like tree planting, proper waste management, using recyclable materials or usable materials, no matter how hard you try to inject that to the people, if they will not really realize things, they're not still gonna do it. Some
Yeah.
people will do it, but not everyone will do it. So what I want to do really is, even if Philippines is quite big, I'm still going to be willing to hop into different cities and municipalities to really talk to them because it's very important to not just talk to the local government units, but to really get into the people. I want them to really, you know, realize things because it's very important to not just talk and just inject them with information. You're not gonna hit their hearts. I
Yeah.
really wanted to hit their hearts and really want them to just be able to realize things. That way, they will be the ones to personally do those things.
Yeah.
Because no matter how hard the government will really do initiatives to work for the environment, it should be coupled with the people's efforts as well.
Like you were saying, maybe like that physical aspect of talking to people one-on-one and getting to know them, they can really see you as a person and not just
Yeah.
as a beauty queen. Because very often, I feel like fans put the beauty queens in this kind of like pedestal and they look at them as like almost like heroes. But
Mhm.
these are human beings at the end of the day, and you guys are
Yes.
trying to really come up with a message and inspire the population to better themselves, and it's really for the best interest of the country overall. So, and also right now, I mean, like if something that we have learned in the times of the pandemic is also the power of social media and
Hmm.
the tools that we are given to communicate with other people. So I feel like a healthy mix of both of those, meeting people one-on-one, but also having maybe like content online that
Yeah.
educates and gives information is gonna be a perfect way for you
Yeah.
and the organization to have a wider impact.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you for that suggestion. It's actually very important, especially
Yeah.
nowadays, social media.
What is one of the characteristics of a Miss Earth Queen that you have already?
Oh, I believe a genuine heart,
Mhm.
because for me, really, a genuine heart, with a genuine heart, you can never go wrong. For me, beauty will always be there. But beauty is power, yes, but the greatest weapon is truly its heart. Like when you do things, when you example, you join Miss Philippines Earth, you should be joining not because of the crown, and you should be really fighting for the advocacy, not during the Miss Philippines pageant. For me, really, I'm still gonna do the things that I really want to do. I wanted to choose a green life, not just for myself, but of course, I really wanted to have a family of my own in the future. So I
Yeah.
want to create a better world for them. So even with or without the crown, I'm still gonna continue that. So I believe that me having a genuine heart is something that's gonna, I don't know really, but it's something that's, I don't know if I'm gonna say it like it's my edge, but it's a gift that I'm very grateful for.
I definitely get you. I see where you're coming from, and I feel like having heart is like the main thing. Because if you're doing this for the wrong reasons, then you know it's just gonna go to waste. But when you're doing it because you love the cause, because you want to better the future of the country for other people, but also for your future family, like you were saying, I feel like it's really the most authentic way to do things. So I commend you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what is your message for maybe like someone who might be thinking of joining the pageant, who might be hesitating, who might like because sometimes you hear like all of these things and the requirements and the myths around it. What would you say to, let's say, like a little girl who is thinking of joining Miss Philippines Earth?
Yeah, well, what I wanted to say is that I was once a little girl who really hesitated before, because I really compared myself to those goddesses and really perfect ones. But nowadays pageants is more than just that. It's more on the causes. If you have the right reasons, then please join. Have the courage to join. It's more on really accepting yourself, because just like me, as you can see, I am here. I am probably an example that I may not have the most beautiful face. I don't have the most curvaceous body. I don't have the most perfect smile, but I have the heart for it. So just try and be courageous enough to do it, and people will really see that. As I've said, beauty is important, but its greatest weapon is really the heart. So just really have the
Aw,
heart, and please try.
I love that. I love that. And you are gorgeous. You are gorgeous in every sense of the word. You
Thank
know,
you.
no, I
And
truly
who
believe.
are you?
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, the moment you message me, I looked into your Facebook and I told my sister, "Oh, this one is gorgeous."
Thank you so much. You're so kind. No, but honestly, I really appreciate your message and what you're saying, because when I film these interviews, precisely, I always try to think of the people watching me, right? Watching the video, listening to what you have to say. And I ask myself, what can they take away from it? Like, what is the message that they will keep from it? Even when I ask my questions, I try to like maybe verbalize them in a way that is gonna get an answer from the candidate that will give value to the audience. And what you have been able to give us is just like I know that people will appreciate it. Those were pretty much my questions during the interview. But before I let you go, I always ask my guests to address the audience. So, what is your message for the people watching you? What do you want them to remember from you? And most importantly, how can we support you in your journey?
Okay. So again, everyone, this is your Miss Philippines Earth, Dumaguete City. I really hope that, we will really be able to realize how important it is to take care of the environment. Honestly, I'm not just thinking about myself, but I'm thinking for the next generations to come, and most importantly, for the human race, because climate change is here. And we are really experiencing it just, by going out, the heat of the sun, it's really different. So no matter how small it is that you think it's not going to make a difference, it will. Let's just start somewhere. I know that we can't heal the world in just a snap, but we can always start somewhere as simple as, recycling as much as possible, using reusable items, and choosing a greener life. Let's do that. Together we can, and no matter how hard it will be, together we can and we will. And I really hope that with everything that's been happening with the pandemic and so on, I know that this will just all pass. Just like every questions have an answer, everything has a solution. So let's not give up. Okay? So for me, I hope that you'll be able to support me in my journey. Krizia Hamsirani, Dumaguete City. Since voting is very important, I hope that you could also vote for me and pray for me. That's the most important thing. Pray for me as well.
Absolutely. And all the links will be in the description. So everyone watching right now, please go and vote. Very important to support you in your journey. And I mean, from a personal level, what can I tell you, Krizia? It's been such a pleasure talking to you. You have what it takes. Honestly, you are so eloquent, so beautiful, and so down to earth. And I feel like that's really the most important thing, right? You're approachable. You are a natural at this. So we'll be watching you in your journey, and we'll be supporting you as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this opportunity,
Thank
really.
you. Thank you.